Like, I never went to school for psychology. I never went to school for mental health. I went to school literally for paralegal services, but I got into the mental health field by working with people at home doing direct care work. And then as I started working in the field, I just got experience, and they used my experience pretty much to cover the degree that they're looking for in the field.
Yeah, I don't think that's always the case though, because if I went to get brain surgery and they told me the same speech, like I never even went to school, I just learned this on my cousins when I was practicing as a kid. I'd be like, let me go ahead and find another doctor.
Think about this though, Shawn. People didn't have doctors before. People were literally doing things on their own. So I don't know. Like, even with brain surgery, I don't do too much westernized medicine now. So I don't know how it would feel. I don't really want surgery done on my body. So that to me, I'm like, we have natural healing elements that we can do, where we can eat better, we can change our diet, we can expose ourselves to natural things like the sun to get more vitamin D in order to heal some of the things. And a lot of the illnesses and diseases that we have running through our bodies comes from things that we eat.
There are still like black market doctors. Like there are people that conduct surgeries and shit that people fucking go to and let them do
that's why
surgery
people go to
on
Mexico.
them. So yeah, you probably wouldn't get hired at a hospital, but you could probably still be a brain surgeon if you really fucking wanted, you know.
Does anybody remember that kid who was caught, like he got in trouble for working in the hospital?
Deliver babies, and they're not obstetricians, and they deliver babies.
Yeah,
they do home births for women. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could still find a way to shimmy your way in the field and actually learn enough.
The education for a doula is, you don't have to be very educated to be a doula. Like, I checked on the certification programs for doulas just to see, because that's something that I would like to do. I would really like to deliver a baby. I can't do medical stuff. I don't really like blood, gore, and all that type. But I don't know. I think delivering a baby would be kind of cool. So I checked into it.
It'd be crazy, like the beginning of life, and it would be nice.
Yeah, hell yeah. Like, I don't know. I think that would be awesome.
That would be cool, yeah. But you could also just be like a brain surgeon's assistant, Shawn. You could get a position where you don't need the qualifications, and then you're in there learning and right there seeing it firsthand. And I know it was an example and you're not an inspiring brain surgeon, but I'm just saying, like, even in those examples, you could still find a way to get yourself on the team and get your way into the field so you can start learning firsthand without the college route. You know what I mean? There's still always positions in there, like she's saying, like with the people who deliver the babies. There's jobs like that for every position where it's like you don't have to be a surgeon to be on a surgeon's team,
A patient's not going to be reassured if you say, oh, I was a brain surgeon's assistant and I practiced on cadavers in my off time or something, like some cool backstory. They're not going to be like impressed. They're going to be like, no, find me somebody who went to school.
Apparently there are people who do it, because they're, like Atari said, there are still underground doctors who are
exactly. Yeah, there's still really like broken, desperate people that will go to them. There's still really paranoid people who just don't trust any doctor in the system that will go to them. Like, there's still a population of people that will go to somebody with the exact credentials that you're saying, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And if you're upfront and honest with them and they choose to do that, that's their own choice, you know what I mean?
I guess you have a point. People will go to anybody as long as the price is right.
I mean,
people
have always done that with
and
tattoos.
They look bad.
Right. People will get tattoos from their fucking friends like that. Like, people do that with medical shit too. Like, people go to just random people to get like plastic surgery and like boob jobs, and they don't always go to
think about psychology. I remember, being 14 years old and having a psychologist ask me about my life. And my question to her was like, tell me about your life. And so she goes to tell me about how she was born with this silver spoon in her mouth and has never had to struggle. And I'm like, why am I going to tell you about my life so that you can judge me when you ain't never been through shit? So like with psychology, I feel like in that field, it's better for a person to have experience, because that person can actually relate to their client and they have more empathy for their clients, and then they're able to work with their clients better and understand exactly what their client needs.
Yeah, that's kind of odd if they've lived like a privileged life and then you're trying to not only confide in them, but like pour your heart out to that. Yeah. That
and Shawn, there's a whole lot of people who are educated and still dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. I met a girl who had a master's degree in human resources and had absolutely no common sense.
Right, they're essentially just book smart. I mean, there's people who are really good at comprehension and retaining facts, but they're not like logically or intellectually smart. You know what I mean? So they're not smart on the fly within the moments if it's not things that they're like on the fly shit. If they don't have studied information that they've retained, then they're like a fish out of water. Like, and yeah, you can be super book smart like that and really good at retaining information and be a really dull person at the same time.
Yeah, the school I went to was a really big medical school, and I would not trust half of them to operate on me. Stupidest people I have ever met.
Right. I was going to say, I've also known people that have gone to medical school or been in the medical field where I'm like, fuck, these are the people that we have as doctors at our hospitals. You know, like, it's like if I knew nothing about this hospital and I did trust you and I knew what work you've done on brain surgery studies, and it's like, well, fuck, this is a brain issue. I'm probably going to die if nothing happens. What the fuck? You know what I mean? I'll let Shawn try. Because, yeah, a lot of the doctors are there for the wrong reasons, too, like similar to a lot of positions. But a lot of doctors are there just for the money as well. They don't care the conversion rate of how many people they save, or you know what I mean?
And it's funny because I met a psychiatrist one time and he was OCD. So I used to wonder like all the time, like how the hell he would work with the kids, because kids are always all over the place touching shit.
Yeah, he's going and fixing shit behind him, and
right, like the kids walk into his office, and as soon as they walk into his office, he's like, sit down and don't move, like do not move out of your spot, because he doesn't even want you like in his, like nowhere near his space, his desk, his nothing. But he was so good with the kids, and I was like, that's like kind of one of those things where like, okay, you want to relate to somebody, but it's like, you're kind of extra weird. And I don't know if I really want to deal with you. Like, how do you want to fix me, but then you want me to stay still like I'm some type of robot and just sit here in this space?
All I know is my pilot better have went to school. That's somebody who needs to go to school.
And hell, there's pilots out there who had never gone to school to fly either. They just took it up as hobbies and learned how to fly as a hobby. My son never went to school. He flew his first plane at the age of 13.
Wow. All right, I'll let him fly me, but that's about it.